Hey everyone, it's me again, and welcome to a first impression? I have no foundation on, and you guys know what that means. It means I am going to be doing a foundation first impression today. I've been getting a lot of foundations in my life and things I want to try, so we're gonna try them. Wow, I am just winning it with the commentary today. So if you guys are new to my channel, first of all, welcome to my little corner of the internet. My name is Faith Grenade and I make makeup videos here on YouTube. See that subscribe button? It's down here somewhere, it's over there. Just hit it. Takes 2 seconds and it'll make my day. So what you are seeing right now is Faith's Feels, where I express my feels or my review of a product. And today, I have an interesting product to talk about. A lot of you know, but if you don't, hey, howdy do. I'm a burlesque performer. And it's very rare that I see makeup brands that are geared toward my realm of performance. Like there's a lot of theatrical makeup, you know, Ben Nye, Krylon, all that stuff. There's a lot of TV and film makeup, but there's not a whole lot of like alternative performance makeup. Being a burlesque performer has some very specific requirements when it comes to makeup because you're doing all kinds of stuff, you know, it's live theater, it's dancing, it's, you know, it's a variety of different things, which is why it's called variety performance. I recently ran into a brand called Atomic Cosmetics, and this is run by a woman named Dr. Jen. She is such a peach, such a sweetheart. I had run into her on burlesque, like, community groups before, but I had never really tried her brand before. And recently I got a lipstick from her called Feel the Burn, and the proceeds from that lipstick go to the Bernie Sanders campaign, so I was like, perfect opportunity to try it. I tried it, really like it, and today I went ahead and ordered her infamous foundation that is called Spackle. Spackle is a performance, like a foundation specifically designed for performers. So I was like, yes, I'm all about that. Her brand is like geared toward burlesque performers and drag queens, and I was like, yes, sign me up. But I didn't know my shade. And so I contacted her and I was like, hey, what shade do you think I am? And she was like, I'll tell you what, you know, place an order and I will send you samples. So she sent me all of the samples in the light category of her shade range, and then she said, when you find your match, message me, tell me your match, and I'll send it to you. And I was like, holy cow, awesome. But yeah, great customer service. I've had an amazing experience thus far with her and her brand, along with these samples, which, by the way, these samples are like really generous sizes, like holy cow. But along with that, she sent me a cute little card, and it has a little message in it just for me, which is so cool. Like, I love handwritten cards and notes. Like, that just gets me right in the feels. And she also sent me 2 skincare samples, a serum and an eye cream that I'm currently trying out. I will give you my feels on those at a later time because skincare needs more time to work. And she also sent me a Lipvana lip balm, which, holy crap, I'm addicted to this stuff. It smells like a creamsicle and I'm obsessed. Have it on right now. But now we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty of things. We are going to get into this foundation. So I matched myself in this foundation at least as best as I could. Now, when you're a performer, when you're performing on stage, it's advised that you go a teensy bit darker and a teensy bit more yellow than you normally would be as a shade. Poking around with these shades, I found I'm somewhere in between Sunrise and Hunty. Sunrise is a hair too fair for me, but Hunty is a hair too like yellowy dark for me. So I'm somewhere in between these two, but I'm gonna go ahead and use Hunty on its own for now because I think that would be my stage shade. So I've got it pulled up right here. It does have a list of ingredients, which is awesome, and I can pronounce all of the ingredients' names. But basically, this is meant to be a performance foundation. So it's meant for stage. It's gonna be full coverage. It's going to completely blank out your face, and it's going to layer very well with other products to build a full coverage, flawless finish. My worry with stage foundation a lot of the time is it tends to break people out very easily because it's really thick. And I am an acne prone individual who's currently on Retin-A, so I don't know what this is gonna do to my face, but we're gonna find out. Let's see. The first few ingredients are titanium dioxide, which is a sunscreen, sweet almond oil, beeswax, castor oil, shea butter, cocoa butter, got some mica, which is the pigment, rosemary, aloe, rosehip. Dang, it's got some skincare ingredients in here. Here's the little foundation here. And as you can see, when I dig my finger into it, it barely yields. It is so thick. And there's the foundation, very, very creamy. I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a shot right here. Ooh. I'm planning on priming one side of my face and not priming the other and seeing if there's a difference. So this will just be the non-primed side, shall we say. Just gonna blend this in with my finger a little bit. That, like, do you see how that covered? Holy potatoes, Batman. Like, I have a little cluster of rosacea bumps that are still, you know, fighting tooth and nail to stay on my face from the Retin-A, but this is completely covering that up. I'm just gonna check the buildability. This is also an area of my face that has a lot of pore action going on, so if this shows off my gargantuan volcano pores, then I will see that here. My nose is usually, like, if foundation is not going to sit somewhere on my face, it's not gonna sit on my nose because my nose is oily as F. I'm just gonna start dotting this all over the place. And this is just, I'm barely scraping anything off the top of this. And that coverage is insane. I don't know if it's necessarily stiff because that's what the formula is like, because some of these shades, I can't remember which, but some of these shades, the lids had popped off in shipping, which that's totally not her fault. It has nothing to do with her and everything to do with USPS. Like, there's nothing they could have done to prevent that, really. But that did happen, so I figured I'd mention it. I'm gonna use what I normally use to blend my go-to foundation, which is the Eve Pearl one right now. This is the Eve Pearl Contour Blender 201 brush, and I'm just gonna use the buffer side. And I'm gonna start to buff this into the skin. Now, when you're dealing with foundations that are this thick, they have to be worked into the skin. So I might have to use a thicker, denser brush for this. Yeah, you know what? I think I have a brush that will do this better. There it is. I'm gonna use my Real Techniques Expert face brush to work this in. I like this brush a lot better for thicker formula foundations, like show foundations and things like that, because it is extremely dense. So it is going to work whatever product you're putting on your skin, it is going to work that product into your face. I'm gonna blend it on my neck here a little bit. Oh, my redness is starting to peek through there a little bit. Might have blended some of the coverage away or something, but worth noting that that is there. Yeah, it's not really holding on my nose all that well, but my nose rejects product like nothing else. There's literally almost nothing that will sit on my nose. You know, Spackle, for those of you who are unfamiliar, is wallpaper paste, basically. And to me, hearing something called Spackle, I'm gonna think thick, I'm gonna think full coverage, I'm gonna think heavy duty. Those kind of words will come to my brain. There is one side of my face with the Spackle on it. This side has the Spackle, this side does not. I'll just go ahead and do a little close-up here. This is the side that does not have any foundation on it yet. And there's the foundation side. Looking at it up close in person, I am stunned. Like, it's not really sitting too poorly in my pores. It's not really exaggerating them in any way. Now granted, since I've been on Retin-A, my pores have decreased in size somewhat, but I mean, like, when I put on, you know, some of my other foundations, you definitely see them in my pores, but As you can see, there's not a whole lot of pore action going on there. It's covered most of what I need it to cover. The only thing it's kind of struggling with is this area right here. And that's, I mean, you guys saw that at the beginning of the video. It is beet red and it's got a ton of texture, so that's gonna be tough to cover. But this does seem to build on itself quite well without going cakey. I'm just gonna try and lightly pat that rather than buffing it, because I did buff that quite a bit. So I probably lost some coverage that way, yeah. The match is fantastic. I'm actually kind of shocked that this matches me as well as it does. I thought for sure it was gonna be way too yellow, but it seems to blend into my neck very nicely, which is exactly what you want out of a foundation. And I do have some rosacea redness, but you can see that was completely covered. Like, this coverage is crazy. And that's just with one thin layer built up in some areas. Like, holy cow. And you can still see some of my skin through it, but it's not really that bad. So now I'm gonna work on the other side of my face, only this time, before I forget to do so, I am going to use a primer. I'm going to use this little sample of the MAC Strobe Cream. I've never used this before, so I'm not really sure how it works with regard to like the wear time of my makeup. I don't know that it's necessarily going to improve that at all. But it's going to bring a sense of luminosity to the skin, and this foundation is matte as fuck. So I'm gonna see if putting this on beforehand does anything for the longevity or the wear time or the finish, if it affects it at all. Now we're gonna do the primed side of my face. And I will probably just speed through most of this, but you'll get the idea. Let's take a look at my acne scarring. Whee! Let's see if it gets rid of that. Bye-bye, acne scars. Don't let the door hit you where the Lord split you. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm using the shade Hunty, by the way. Very yellowy toned foundation. Wow, okay, that's blending a lot easier, actually. And it could be just because the product has had time to warm up, since I was using it cold on the other side. This could just be that it warmed up to my body temperature from my finger touching it so much. But it definitely is blending out a little bit quicker than it did. Considering this is mostly oil-based, I'm really impressed that it's not super kind of heavy and greasy feeling. Feels really nice so far. So, I mean, I'm not sure. I decided to make this video anyway, even though I'm not sure how many people it's going to really help. Just because, I mean, yeah, it's a show foundation. So honestly, if you don't perform on stage, this is probably not going to be something that you're going to be using very much. You know, I'm sure there's some burlesque performers out there who also watch my videos. Hey ladies and gentlemen. And I know they would want to know if this works. Maybe some of them haven't used this before. Now, Dr. Jen's brand is very popular among burlesque performers, so I'm sure I am late to the gate on this party. I'm sure I'm not the first person to use this. I feel like beauty gurus are just now starting to discover professional grade makeup and show makeup. Like, everyone's freaking out right now over the RCMA no color powder, and I'm just sitting here like, that product has been a staple in theatrical pro kits for years. Literally years. So, alright, there's the primed side. We'll just get all up in your grill here. This is the primed side right here. It covered my acne scars pretty well, I would say. There's still a little bit of darkness visible maybe down this way, but nothing too bad. And honestly, those are pretty tough to cover to begin with. So the fact that it covered as much as it did is impressive on its own. I don't know if it's the primer I used, but it seems to be looking a small bit more emphasized in the pore department over here. And I'm buffing that in a little bit, but I can still see kind of like a cakiness of sorts. Nothing too big though, and from far away you really can't see that. But match is still good. Coverage is pretty incredible, actually. Particularly considering that even though I just washed my face is still kind of like oily-ish. Well, not oily, more like sweaty. It's really humid here right now in my house. So there you go. This is the foundation on. I am going to powder this, not necessarily because I want to like give it an advantage in any way when it comes to wearability or longevity or anything like that, but just because I would powder my foundation regardless. So no matter what foundation I wear, I always put powder on it. So I'm probably gonna end up baking a good bit under my eyes, but the rest of it I will just do a light dusting of Pow Pow. So I'm just gonna bake under my eyes and like around here, just on the sides of my nose, just where my foundation habitually tends to move around. Just bake down my nose, because my nose is an asshole when it comes to foundation. This is taking to powder really well. All right, I'm gonna go put powder on the rest of my face and put the rest of my makeup on, and I'll be right back. Hello guys, I'm back and I am flawless. If you guys want a tutorial of this eye look, I didn't film it this time around because I was just playing around with some new stuff I got. I just got the Kat Von D Chrysalis palette. I'm so late to the game on this. It's not even funny. They don't even carry this in Sephora anymore, but PS, still available on Kat Von D's website. But if you want a tutorial for this eye look, it's very purpley and smoky, just leave a thumbs up and I will be happy to recreate it. It was stupid easy, stupid awesome. Yeah. So, rundown of what I put on my face. I did bake, as you guys saw, with my Coty Airspun powder. Let that sit while I was doing my eyes, dusted the excess off. And then for my face makeup, I did some glow with Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector and Moonstone because duh. No concealer. None needed, really. No under eye concealer, nothing like that. I did use the brand new, just got this, Lorac Take Me to Tantiago bronzer palette. I used Cabo Tan Lucas on my cheeks today. And just, you know, spritzed with some NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray. I know that that's going to affect the wear of this foundation, but honestly, guys, this is a performance foundation. This is a stage foundation, so, you know, for stage, I'm basically doing all of the same face makeup that I would normally do for stage, complexion-wise. Like, I'm, you know, powdering, I'm setting with setting spray. These are all things that I would normally do as part of prep for a show. Now, it's a little bit later in the afternoon. It's currently 4:48 p.m. This whole makeup process took me probably about an hour and change to finish. So honestly, not a whole lot has changed about the foundation. Now, I did notice that when I baked and dusted the powder off, there was a little bit of cakiness here, kind of on the sides of my nose. That's still sort of the case, although the setting spray did help kind of alleviate that powderiness, which is why I love that technique. But some of the kind of spots and things that weren't quite all the way concealed have started to come back. This spot over here on the other side of my nose, honestly, it has come back no matter how much foundation I put on it. It is kind of an active area right now because, again, I'm on Retin-A, so it's probably just because it's active. If I put anything on it, it's gonna get irritated, so I don't really hold that against this foundation in particular. It's not because the foundation has bad coverage, it's just because that is an active spot and it's gonna get irritated when it's being rubbed with makeup brushes and things like that. So it looks gorgeous. The finish is really nice. It's a nice little matte finish, but it doesn't quite feel like super flat, if that makes sense. I did need to set this with powder because by the time I finished the foundation application and everything else, I felt the need to set this with powder, which makes sense because, I mean, it's a thick, you know, dense cream foundation and it mostly has a lot of essential oils in it, and those oils are going to leave some shine. So definitely felt the need to powder, but now that it's all powdered down, it looks great. I'm not really feeling, like I definitely feel like I have makeup on. Make no mistake. This is not, you know, super, super lightweight. Like it doesn't feel like I'm wearing nothing at all. But then again, it doesn't claim to be lightweight. It's stage makeup. You're gonna hear me saying that a lot. But all in all, honestly, I'm really impressed so far. We'll look at our pores here. Pore action's looking okay. There's a little bit of kind of patchiness on my nose, a little bit of texture, but that's me totally nitpicking, which considering this is stage makeup normally looks like crap close up, and this definitely doesn't look too bad. My cheeks are a little bit red. I didn't put any blush on, but I think it was the brush I used. I think my little powder brush here by Real Techniques is starting to get a little scratchy, so that's probably just from that rubbing on my face, but all in all, pretty impressed. Really impressed considering that this is stage makeup. It's lightweight for stage makeup, it's lightweight for a cream foundation. For those of you who are new to my channel, I have sensitive skin, sensitive and acne prone, double header. So usually if I'm gonna be sensitive to something, I can tell because my skin will start to itch really badly when I put a foundation on. And so far that hasn't happened. So there you go. We'll do a little kind of awkward posing type of thing so you can see everything and compare it to later shots. I will be checking back in throughout the day. I have some busy plans for this evening. I'm going to be going to dinner with friends and going bar hopping, getting some drinks, just kind of decompressing. It's been a long few weeks and I am just ready to decompress. We'll be checking in with you guys throughout the evening to show you guys how this wears. So yeah, I will see you in a few hours. Hey guys, it's me again, just checking in on this foundation, about to go out. It's a little on the shiny side on the forehead. I did powder around the nose a little bit, but so far, so good. Hasn't faded. It does settle into my fine lines a small bit, but again, stage foundation can kind of be expected. Anyway, see you in a sec.
I want to go again, but I missed. Success at all costs.
Oh man, the suspense is killing me. I need to like edit in some dramatic music. Get it? Check-in now because I don't know when I'm gonna get a chance to do it. Foundation is still looking pretty lit.
Suck my dick.
These kids are looking pretty lit. So we're gonna go keep doing shit and I will check in with
shit up.
I will check in with you guys at the end of the night. Okay, bye. Whoa. Okay guys, so even in this harsh light,
Fucking great.
we can see the foundation is still looking awesome. I'm really impressed. Dude, foundation's looking lit. Looks awesome. Hello everyone, it is me with the last check-in. It is currently, as my oven clock will tell you, about 2:18 in the morning. And as you can see, the foundation held up remarkably well. It is fading in some places, but for the most part, it's doing all right. So I hope you guys enjoyed following me around today and testing out this foundation. I would say the two qualms I have with it is, for one, it is quite thick, which, I mean, it's a show foundation. It's supposed to be that way. And in being that thick, it settles into my fine lines a small bit, which, I mean, again, it's a show foundation. You're only really supposed to wear this for a few hours. So the fact that it lasted well over 12 hours without really getting too terribly bad is pretty damn good. Yeah, all in all, I'm really impressed with this. I'll leave the link to the foundation in below. I hope you guys found this review helpful, informative, or entertaining. If you did, there's a button for that. Spank that like button in the butt, you know it deserves it. And if you want to see more from me, subscribe and become a member of the faithful today. I put out new videos every Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching and joining me today, and I will see you in the next video.